Hi, everybody. Good morning and welcome to what are we doing? Oh yeah, Devil's Advocate Trades Edition. Haven't done it in a while. We did too many. He's like us fucking laughing at me. He's like, "What are we doing?" I don't
Who am
know.
I? Where are we?
What happened?
Oh.
It's been a bit of a morning. I won't lie. But anyways, good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Lisa.
How are you?
Ready for more coffee.
Right. Look at mine says, "Not today, Satan."
Uh, that's funny.
I know I have some of the coolest mugs. My mom's not a fan of them, but I love them. They're like, "Not today, Satan." It's beginning to look a lot like "fuck this," "twat waffle," "bag of dicks."
It's a
I'm
bunch of
fucking
interesting
over it.
mugs. Yeah, I have a gray mug. This is gray.
Yeah, I'm a dick. I want people to know what I'm thinking, you know? If my face doesn't say it, my mug should.
You just got to hold it higher. That's all. There you go. Yeah.
Okay. So I know what you want to talk about. You want to talk about Meta. So let's go. Jump in.
Well, not just Meta as an example of what this is leading to, but is this severe lack of people getting into trades and the huge gap of what's going to be required is massive right now.
So elaborate.
So, for example, I think it was Larry Fink in his portfolio alone. So the companies that he owns and the stuff that he's working on. Now, granted, it's a large portfolio. He was saying, so I think it was Mike Rowe who was talking about it, the Dirty Jobs guy, where he has a shortage of about 300,000 just electricians.
Oof.
Just electricians. That's not HVAC. That's not plumbing. That's not framing. That's not everything else. Just electricians. So these are huge, huge numbers just in one portfolio.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot of people that are missing.
We need some more Sparkies.
We need some more of everything.
I know.
I mean, you don't want too many Sparkies. Like, they're a little bit of a weird bunch. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not.
Oh, don't be mean to the Sparkies. They're good people. You know what? I can honestly say I don't know a lot of electricians that are a pain in the ass. Most of them are pretty good, actually. Most of them are actually really nice guys. And same with plumbers. You know what? I haven't met a lot of like skilled tradesmen that are like absolute dicks. A couple. Usually it's like the guys that think they know. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Like, oh, I know everything. I've been in trades for 15 to 20 years and I don't have any certificate. Usually those guys. Although I will say, you know, my significant's a bit of a unicorn. He pisses me off. But then I'm a unicorn too, so yay me.
Well, I always hate when people are like, well, I've been doing it for 35 years. I'm like, so was that person I was following down the highway. They've been driving for 35 years, but they're sitting in the fast lane doing 85 with their left turn signal on.
Yeah.
Time of doing something doesn't necessarily mean you're good at doing something.
Agreed.
Right. So there's a lot to be said about gathering the proper knowledge. So, and listen, we're big in the AI race right now. Everybody's talking about it. It is super important. And what's going to separate you in the future is going to be two things: your knowledge and your abilities.
True.
Which means especially physical abilities. Because I don't know if you've ever watched those AI robots walking around, but my God, that looks pathetic. You wouldn't hire that robot.
No.
Not even to move a box.
Well, okay. So I was having this conversation with Greg and he was talking about how they're trying to bring more AI into the trucking industry for like dispatching and then driving like self-driving trucks. And I was like,
I mean, there are whole factories that do that now. Like, in Germany, there's places where all the shipping, intershipping's all done.
For me, like, it's a catch-22. There are some industries that I believe could go AI and be perfectly fine. Okay. Hate to say it, but under the administrative aspect, if you are an administrator, you better get proficient in AI because that's where you're going to start to succeed more. And it's also going to help you work smarter, not harder. But you still have to be very detailed with AI. You still have to proofread your AI. You can't just be, you know, oh, it wrote it, I sent it. Well, now you sound stupid.
Right.
Right. So, and
Yeah.
you and I both, and I mean, I learned that with you, and you were like, you have to train your AI. You have to make sure you're
Hmm.
paying attention. And I do. And I use a lot of AI when it comes to emails and documents and whatnot. But I'm the one writing them. They're just making it look pretty and sound nice, or throwing in an extra couple of words, or reformatting in some way. Stuff that I would have an assistant do. And I don't have an assistant because I have an AI. But I still have to proofread, no different than I'd have to proofread a human. Humans aren't perfect,
That's a
right?
funny thing. Even at a small company, AI has already replaced jobs,
Yes, 100%.
right? Like
Where I
I
would
don't.
right now, I would need at least one assistant, and I don't need
Right.
it.
Right.
I'm getting to the point where I'm not going to be able to get past the one assistant, and then they're going to have access to my AI to help them.
Right.
So then I don't have to get another assistant. I can work off one.
Right.
And I'm trying to
Well, that's
actually
why.
recruit my kid to do it.
Yeah. I mean,
I want her to do
that's a
all the
great way to do it.
marketing. What's that?
That's a great way to do it.
Yeah, I want to recruit my kid to do all the marketing aspects. So, and I told her, I'm like, it's like an hour a day, kiddo. An hour a
Mhm.
day. I'll pay you $30 an hour. The company will pay you $30 an hour. You have a social security number. I will put it into the system, and it will pay you. It'll pay you every 2 weeks if you do
Yep.
your hour a day. So you do, and she was like, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm like, well, you can go bust tables or whatever. I'm not going to tell you no. My son might do it, but I got to watch him. He might
Well,
make
there's
me
additional
tell.
tax breaks too, because if they're under the age of 18,
Mm-hmm.
right? You should be hiring your kids,
Mm-hmm.
right? The tax breaks are amazing. You should be
Yeah.
hiring your kids 100%.
Well, I don't know. My kids might hate me. I'm not an I'm a fair boss, but I'm not. It's not like, people think, oh well, you hired your kids, you're going to be easier on them. No, not
Yeah.
this mom. This mom will be harder because the expectation will be higher because they're my children.
Mm.
You, I, their dad and I send them to an entrepreneurial school to learn how to be an entrepreneur. So
Yep.
now us giving them a taste. My son won't work for his father because his father is landscaping. He wants nothing to do with it.
Right.
Right. And I'll be honest with you, like my ex it was a joke, but I never liked the joke. I was really angry. Like, so when I'd had Tyler and him and I were still together, and I'd bring Tyler into the office, he would say things like, oh, everybody go say hi to your new boss. And my son's like 8 months. And I was
Mm.
like, that's really like demoralizing. Like, why would you do that?
Well, he's technically not wrong. I mean, you do work for your kids, you do work for your legacy. So technically, the kids become the boss of the parents because your reason is different.
Yeah,
So
but you're
I don't
you're
know. You can weigh it
psychologizing it
that
in a
way, but
different way. What I'm telling you is that that's not how he was saying it. He was
no,
saying
no,
it
I'm
like, "That's
probably
gonna
not.
be your boss, ha, 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 ha," and it's like, it's not funny.
I'd find it funny.
I don't think personally, I don't think it's funny. When you're someone who has worked your ass off, you are past your mid-30s and 40s, or even in your 20s, and you're basically looking at an 8-month-old baby being told that this is gonna be your boss. It kinda puts something in your head where you're like, "Well, fuck you, I won't be here by the time this kid fucking gets in," because it's just another aspect of nepotism. So you're just gonna give him boss automatically because he's your kid? And
Maybe,
that's where I'm like, "No." Like,
maybe.
my kid will never be a boss in my company unless they work for it. They have
Well,
to want, and
unless
they
you
have to prove
groom
their
them
skill
for
set.
it. Well, you can groom your kids for that. Sure.
I could, but for me, it has to be a desire for them. They have to want to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, my daughter, has made it very clear that she doesn't really want to be an entrepreneur at this particular junction. My son, on the other hand, very much has the entrepreneur bug.
Right.
But he always says to me, I don't want to work for either parent. I want to do something on my own. And I'm like, that's great, but you should work 6 months with your father, and you should work 6 months with your mother. It's two different avenues,
Mm.
similar industry, two different avenues of what to do. And I said, and then you can pick what you want, if you want the physical labor or if you want the office. But understand, both are highly detail oriented, and there's different skill sets. But I still think it would be smart for him to go and work with his dad for 6 months and work with mom for 6 months.
You know what's interesting though is a lot of people when they're looking for a contractor, a large reason is when somebody says like, like it's a multi-generational family business,
Mhm.
right? But then to say, well, nepotism. Oh, okay, yes. But sometimes it works. In fact, the majority of times it works out. Like family businesses stay family businesses if you build it that way.
So I say nepotism. I see what you're saying. It's a double-edged sword. It's like it's like speaking out of two sides of your mouth. You can't say that people look for that mom and pop shop that's been multi-generational, passed down, blah, 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 blah. There's lots of restaurants like that. There's different areas of industry where that happens. And then turn around and scream nepotism. Here's the thing. When I scream nepotism based on what it actually is. Somebody obtaining a position because of who they are to the other person, not because of their skill set. If you are someone who has worked in your mom and dad's shop or your grandparent's shop since you were young, or for amount of time, you've collected the industry experience and you have the knowledge because you went and got schooling for it, let's say, or you've just been there for years and you've constantly worked your way up. You've gone in and you've learned. That's not nepotism, in my opinion. That's working to the skill required and tasks required for you to obtain further further promotion. That's different. Nepotism is, oh, this is my son. He just got out of college. He did a year, studied abroad. Well, what did he study? Oh, he just studied arts. But he's coming in and he's going to be the next CEO, or he's going to be the next VP, or he's going to be the next, director of operations. Fuck off. What does he know about this industry? Oh, he doesn't know much, but we can train that. That's upsetting to the rest of everybody else. If you've got a guy that's been there beside you, kind of like your confidant, while your kid's running off and playing with his fucking inner selfness, and this person has been your ride or die in your company, and he gets overpassed by somebody because it's blood, that's gross, Michael.
I think there's a big difference there, because I view it as legacy. I get to pass it down legacy.
I think it's bullshit.
Passing it off to somebody else who's just been a worker bee that could have left at any point in time, maybe didn't. Maybe because they were too lazy to leave. Maybe because they're risk adverse.
Maybe because they're Michael, come on. There's people who work their asses off, who are there from beginning of the morning till end of night, that will take the calls. There are people out there that have worked their ass off to prove their loyalty to their owner, in hopes that one day they will achieve their ultimate goal, which is to be sitting at the top of the fucking food chain or near it. That's their goal. Most people, not all, some are quite happy to be fucking worker bees, but most people, I would say, who
most
start at
are
the bottom,
happy being worker bees. Very few want to reach. Very few.
I think there's more than you think that want to reach. Everybody wants a promotion. That's my point. Everybody wants to be promoted in some way. Some people want to be promoted strictly on raise. Some people want to be promoted with more tasks, more responsibility, a title. There's everybody there. That's, in my opinion, most people want to see movement inside of their careers, whether it's lateral, whether it's up. They want to see movement. They were in the HR department. Now they're a field investigator. Lateral, little different, but probably get paid more as an investigator. So there's
the crux. They want more money. It's not, people don't take jobs because of their titles. Nobody cares what's on their business card anymore. Most people don't even have a business card.
Sense of value, Michael.
So I think that is so small, because all the complaints that you hear, the large loud mouths, the most people is, I want more money. I want more money. I want more money. Look, they're asking me to do more, but not paying me more. That's what being an owner is doing more all the time without necessarily getting paid more.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. What do you think gets Lisa sold more on a site? That she was the COO of a medium-sized landscape/construction maintenance company, or that she was the administrative assistant?
I don't know.
Well, we live in a patriarchal society, so which one do you think people are going to pay attention to? Do you think someone's going to hire me as a director of operations when I worked for a company for over 11 years and know all the ins and outs of a company, but someone only wanted to give me the administrative assistant title? Or I worked my fucking ass off to obtain that COO title? Which one do you think they're going to respect, and which one do you think they're going to look at? Do you think they're going to look at the male who's padded his resume and says that he's been a director of operations?
Wait. So you're making an assumption you're competing against a liar. Is that the assumption? You're competing against a liar?
Everybody's competing against a liar. Majority of people are padding their resumes. I'm not. Now, I've done the COO position. I've done the director of operations position. Those are things that I have done that are on my resume. But I'm telling you right now, when it comes down to it, there's still hurdles for people. So for someone like me to have all of the information that I do, all of the knowledge that I do, all of the education that I do, are they going to take me seriously as just the administrative assistant or as the COO?
Don't put your title on the resume.
Well, my title's not on the resume. They don't get my resume. I'm not
Don't
going
put
for
your
a
title on the
job.
resume. I worked at this company from this time to this time, and here's the duties, here's my skills, here's my education.
Most people don't
put
read
your
it.
title.
Most
Titles
people don't
don't
read it.
matter.
They read the title. They skim it.
Don't put the title. Don't put your job title. If you're not happy about your job title, I don't care what somebody's job title is. I don't think most people care. They care, what are the skills I'm going to get and how much am I going to have to pay?
When you're
That's
upset
it.
with when you go into a store and you're upset, do you ask for the sales associate or do you ask for the manager? Who has more power to do something about your concern?
I don't go to the store.
Answer the question, Michael.
If I were going to the store, obviously, whoever's in front of me first.
Okay. And they say, well, I can't do anything for you. Sorry.
Okay. So who can?
Right. So when your clients, so let me turn this around because you're like, I don't do any of these things. Fine.
Well, I don't. I would email it because usually it's corporate. If it's a mom and pop shop, I let it be and I don't go back. If it's corporations, I email the corporation and they give you tons of stuff.
So here's where we're going to turn it around. When your clients are pissed off with something that's going on in your work and you've got guys under you, because I know you had employees.
Yep.
Okay. Do they go to your employee or do they go to you?
They usually go to the employee first because they're in front of them.
Okay. And what does your employee say?
If they can handle it, handle it. I gave them rights to handle it.
Okay. So if they're mad and they want money back, are they going to the employee or are they going to you?
You're not getting money back. It's contract.
You didn't answer my question. You might not give them
the employee knows this. They're
who
like,
are they going to? Regardless of whether they get money back, Michael, who are they going to? Answer the question.
They would eventually come to me.
My God, you're
and they'll get the exact same answers that my employee would tell them. You go to Michael, he's going to tell you the exact same thing I'm telling you right now. There's nothing. No, because because my business was more like a family business, right? Everybody got along. Everybody did their stuff.
It doesn't negate the fact that most people, when there is a problem, are not going to speak to the people who don't have enough authority to do something about their issue.
What does that have to do with hiring? What does that have to do with hiring? We started off at hiring. What does that have to do with hiring?
It has to do with hiring because we're talking about how people want to eventually get promotions. You're talking about how people just want more money. Yes, everybody wants more money, but most of the time, more money comes from one of two things: longevity and skill set, and then promotions. So if you're sitting in the same job for 20 years, there's a chance that you'll catch raises every once in a while, but are you going to be making the same amount of money as the manager ahead of you? Not many people do. So they're going to hit that glass ceiling as long as they remain in that one spot. There are certain aspects in trades that I have met some guys that are skilled workers that have been there longer than their manager and make more than their manager.
Of course.
Okay. That happens, but it's rare. It's rare. And not only that, but who wants an idiot barking orders at them and telling them how to do their job when they've been doing it just fine and the company's perfectly viable? And now you got somebody with a chip on their shoulder because they decided to play with their inner selfness for fucking 6 months to a year. And now all of a sudden they're taking over a company. To me, that's insane. They should be in the company. They should be in the grind. They should be in the trenches with all of the employees, gaining the respect from everybody and giving the respect to everybody. It needs to be a two-way street there. There needs to be camaraderie. There needs to be understanding on both sides. And then it doesn't matter if it's the son or daughter because they were in the trenches with the rest of the staff. They learned it. They understood it. Even if someone says, oh, well, I trained them, take pride in that. You knew this person was going to be there and they took advantage of everything you were willing to say, which means that they knew you were the smartest person in the room to get them to where they needed to get to. And they're not going to forget about you. Most shouldn't. Some do. They're like, yeah, whatever. But some don't forget that. They're like, that person then becomes the right hand or that person then is running the show when they go off on holiday with their family. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying to you is that nepotism for me is someone who sits in a fucking chair that doesn't have the opportunity to actually learn the trade. That's my point. You're talking mom and pop shop. Most people learn everything from the ground up.
Sometimes.
Not nepotism. It's family. It's legacy.
Yeah. But again, it's a different skill set from running a company than it is to, I don't know, pulling wire, building panels.
Were you trying to mute me? I saw that mute button come up.
No.
I saw your mute button come up. I'm like, this.
No, because I'm still a little bit under the weather. So every once in a while I'm sniffing and I don't want to be like that guy's got a drug problem. No, I'm still under the weather. So I might be coughing. I might be
on mine.
over.
It's real. You don't feel good. Michael doesn't feel good.
No, that's why I'm a little flush right now. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, our point is Meta. We were talking about Meta, so go there.
So with Meta, what they're doing, again, this was from Mike Rowe. So he was talking about this, where Meta is actually paying for all the construction training. They pay moving costs, they pay sign-on bonus, like all these things, and with a guaranteed position at the end. So they're paying all this money, but you don't have to stay with Meta. You could go and get all this training. They pay for it all. They do it all, blah, blah, blah. And then you can just go out and work for somebody else if you wanted to. Start your own company if you wanted to. You can do whatever you want.
This is United States.
This is in the US.
There are some
companies who are starting to pick this up inside of Canada as well, where it's not like we go off to school and you get your EI. They're doing EI and top up, right? So you actually don't lose a penny for going to school.
Okay. But they're doing that in Canada? It's moving into Canada? Like where?
There are companies who are picking this up in Canada now too, doing the same thing.
They're companies.
Like I've had sign-on bonuses. Like my job offers, because I get job offers all the time because I was in the industry for like over 30 years. Mm-hmm. I get job offers all the time. They're probably up about 20 to 40% from 5 years ago.
Okay.
And 5 years ago was a pretty high peak. They're up 20 to 40% above that right now with sign-on bonuses. You know what? We're not just going to give you a company truck. We're going to give you a truck and driver. They will pick you up and drop you off every day. You don't even have to drive.
Are we still talking about the trades?
This is in trades. These are trades offers that I'm getting.
Where is this, Ontario? Because Alberta ain't doing this shit.
No, in Ontario, yeah. But like where they're like, you know what? We'll send somebody. You'll have your lackey with you. He'll be driving the truck. He'll pick you up. He'll drop you off. Because the thing is, they want me doing this. Okay. I can't do this when I'm driving. So now they're being smart and they're like, perfect. Get the person who knows what they're doing on the phone, calling customers, placing orders. Instead of getting a Joe Blow kid to do it and you're doing all the driving, get your skilled guy in the passenger seat. People are actually starting to get smart. Worth it. Worth every penny. Don't get me wrong.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around all these things that are allegedly going on in Ontario, and I'm sitting in fucking Alberta, and I'm like, I hate my premier. So you know what I mean? Like, I'm just bitter over here. This isn't that bitch got a car. You know she got a car. Where's our car? Where's our trade car?
It's not a political thing. These are companies, private companies.
I know, but what I'm saying is that the companies that are investing in these types of things for out in Ontario would never, I don't believe would ever do that out here unless you're an executive, not a trades professional.
Oh yeah.
You have to be an executive. You have to be someone who's a chair spinner, who's fucking amping up politics and bullshit. And that's the only way I see that happening.
Remember, when I say car and driver, I mean, it's a work truck going to site and the junior guy is driving. He's still a guy, gets out, goes on the tools. He's not just a driver, but he's your apprentice or the gopher, right? Like that's it.
Well, if they don't have a control problem, then yeah, that happens.
It's your minimum wage driver.
Most soups and foremen have a control problem. But if they don't, the companies do not assign anybody other than the foreman to drive those vehicles. So that makes it a little harder.
Which is crazy.
Huh?
Which is crazy because if you actually get the junior kid who costs less to drive that vehicle, right? So the person driving the vehicles costs less. Plus it means they're driving more, which is more free advertising on the road because a lot of companies don't pay for the drive time to work home from work. And now this kid's got to drive you home and then drive themselves home. But they're like, oh, cool. But I don't have the expense of my own vehicle, which for a junior kid would normally have that expense. So it's a kind of a quid pro quo on that.
Fair. How old's that junior kid?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Throw a number.
I didn't go as far down that rabbit hole to find out how old the kid is. I don't care.
No, we're gonna play. We're gonna play your game, Michael. How old do you think most junior kids are in trades?
25.
25. That's what you think.
That's been my experience. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they usually go off to college.
Trade, or are we talking just trade?
Yeah, but they realize they've gone off to college. They've got their history in cheese, and they're like, I don't want to flip burgers because my degree means nothing and I can't get a job, so I go into trades.
Okay. So most juniors are between the ages of 18 and 23. Okay? Usually. By the time you're 25, you have worked a minimum of 2 years inside of trade. Usually. That's out here in Alberta, that's usually how that works. By 25 years old, you've got some years under your belt. Okay? Not months, years. So do you know what the insurance rate is for someone to drive under 25 on your vehicle? Because it's astronomical. So they ain't going to be letting no juniors drive no trucks because their insurance skyrockets out here. So great in theory, but there's no owner that's going to be like, yes, please jack up my insurance because the 23-year-old
So
kid
wait a
can
second.
drive around
So
the foreman.
you're talking about junior people who it's their first year. There's people who start in a company and they don't go anywhere for 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. They don't do anything. They don't apply to be an apprentice because they can't apply to be an apprentice because there's not enough journeymen. So
What
they're not getting good
I
rates. They're not
understand.
getting anything else.
I'm responding to what you're saying. So what I'm
Yep.
saying to you is that can the foreman get somebody to drive the vehicle for them so that they can do more things on the backside,
Yes.
fill out their safety, do this, do that, make the
Yes.
phone calls, whatever the case may be? Absolutely, he can. But most of the time, people who are assigned the vehicles are the foremen who are over the age of 25, or they have to have someone on their crew that is over the age of 25 because it fucks the insurance. Unless trades don't say anything, but you have to notify each one of your drivers to be insured under your company vehicle
Of
for your
course.
fleet,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So
Yep.
so right away when you start notifying your drivers, your insurance is going to kick back and go, oh, you got about 10, 20 to 25-year-olds. That's kind of a tight gap. Just so you know, we're going to increase your insurance by this much. So they're going to say everybody is over the age of 25, and that's all they're going to allow to drive. So what I'm saying to you is that we need to look at practical sides. Ontario is not, it's its own little Wild West beast. Okay.
No, it's the same
Wild
thing.
East
It costs
beast.
more for
Whereas
vehicle insurance if you're under the age of 25, for sure.
I'm just saying that Alberta runs differently. That's all.
Yep.
Alberta runs differently. And that's fair. So, but what you're saying is that there's all this opportunity that Meta is picking up companies to help them pay
Meta
for
and a
people
lot of
to
other
go through
companies. Yeah.
trades,
Yep.
right? Okay. And give them the education, and that there's a top up somewhere in regards to like the EI section.
Well, the EI, that's for Canadian companies. So in the States,
Right.
there is no real EIs, but they pay for all the education. They pay for all that type of stuff.
Okay.
There's like moving costs associated with it. So you can go to, I think it's meta.com something. I don't remember exactly what the URL is. I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find it.
Yep.
It's probably on the Mike Rowe podcast.
Okay. That's good
But
information.
here in Canada, a lot of companies are starting to pay for that because they want people to go through the tradesperson thing because everybody's short on journeymen. So you can't train more people because you don't have enough journeymen.
So what about places like New Zealand or Australia, like the Commonwealth area? Like, is Meta only doing this just for the States and kind of moving into Canada? Like, there's a lot of like uncertainty.
Mostly US. Yep,
Huh?
it's US. It's US.
Okay.
So you're getting American training. So you're not getting the Canadian Red Seal out of it.
Okay.
So you're getting the American license.
It's kind of funny. It was a joke and you didn't even realize it.
What?
You're getting the American training so you won't get the Canadian Red Seal out of it. I thought that was funny.
Well, the Canadian Red Seal, I mean, it's so highly revered.
It's because we're smart.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, most of us are smart. My brother and I were having this conversation about, Alberta. He's like, I'm scared to say that I'm from Alberta because of all the seppies. I'm like, right? Don't say you're from Alberta. Say you're from Quebec. And he's like, that's not much better.
Definitely don't say you're from Quebec.
I was like,
sorry, people in Quebec. Love to visit.
Well, my brother and I were both born in Quebec.
Again, so you visited for a while.
And we went back every year. I mean, my brother and I are both French immersion.
Yep.
We're bilingual.
I love visiting Quebec. Quebec's a great place to visit.
Quebec is beautiful. I don't like Quebec City. It's beautiful, but I don't like Quebec City. I love Montreal. And then I grew up where my mom grew up. Like, I grew up in my summers where my mom grew up, which was Baie-Comeau, Quebec. So it's like I spent most of my time camping and climbing Blueberry Hill because my nan had a house right across the street from a Blueberry Hill. And you'd climb it. My brother fell down the hill and cracked his head when we were little. Fucking Humpty Dumpty, gut, like blood just gushing down his face. He was like, I'm going to die. I'm like, nah, it's just a little cut. I was young. I didn't know much, but my parents dealt with that. But still, great memories out there. But in those little small towns, Francophone. They're Francophone. So if they know you speak English, they get a little bit, a little snooty.
Yeah, there's a little bit of language policing out there. Still is.
That's a nice way of saying it.
It's probably the most offensive thing I can think of is language police.
Yeah, I love Montreal because it's very bilingual. Not that I can't speak French and I can't go and hold my own anywhere, but It's the minute they hear that I don't have a French accent or that I'm speaking English as clear as I do, it's like automatic prejudice. And then they start spouting off in French. And well, my brother and I both speak fluent French, right? Yep. And we just look at them and we're like, we understand you, right?
I can hear you.
Like, you don't come to a place like Baie-Comeau and not speak a lick of French. So it's interesting. But yeah, uncles are hunters and fishermen. So that's where I learned how to fly fish. That's where I learned how to hunt, all the things. So that's where I love Quebec. But it is what it is. I still, my brother, I'm like, just tell him you're from Windsor. You've been there long enough. You hold the card, bro. You hold the card.
You can say Northern Ontario, because I mean, there's a lot of French in Northern Ontario.
Well, no, but he lives at the bottom. He lives like South Ontario, right? Because Windsor's all the way at the bottom there. It's right, like it's right Detroit there. Right on the bridge to Detroit.
I know where Windsor. I live in Ontario. I know where Windsor is.
Well, then Jesus Christ, why would I say Northern Ontario?
Because it's better than saying Quebec.
Is it?
Yes, I think so. Don't hate on me, Quebecers, but
it is what it is. They know. They're fine. C'est bien.
Also, I mean, I love Northern Ontario.
It's beautiful. Northern Ontario has similar terrain to Alberta.
Yeah, when you get north. Yeah.
Yeah, has similar terrain. Yeah. And it's beautiful, and I love it. But it is what it is. So, oh, look at that. We're 31 minutes. Are we wrapping?
That seems like a good point. Yeah. Now that we've gone off topic enough. Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Okay, everybody. We'll catch you on the flip side, and don't do anything crazy.